Welcome to Apes and Pants with Shawn Coffey and Chris Brennan. Embrace the ape. All right, welcome back to Apes and Pants. This time, it's actually episode 1. We started off episode 0 by calling it episode 1. Ended up being episode 0. Now, we're actually on episode 1 of season 2. I think we've actually got that, and we're not even going to talk about the lost episodes.
No.
Never to be seen.
Someday.
Maybe. DVD extras!
I love how, we don't want to talk about it, but let's talk about it out loud.
Wait, what
Exactly.
did I say?
Something about a lost episode.
I never watched Lost. I heard it was good, but I never paid attention to it.
Season 3 was horrible. 1 and 2 were solid. 4 picked it back up, and by 5 I was like, just end it and be whatever.
I see dead people.
Yeah.
I never watched the show. I'm not a big TV guy. I never really have been. But yeah, I totally I can't stand the idea of having a date with my television, and I can't stand the modern era of binge watching either. Like, I've done it. When I say I can't stand it, it's not that I have not embraced sitting through 9 hours of Sherlock on a day, because that's happened.
You all got any more of them episodes?
But the idea, like, I talked about this with the boy, and I know he's 18. I'm still going to call him a boy. I talked about this with him at one point, and mostly with my wife about him. That child will not watch the current season of anything because he is incapable of waiting a week for the next one to be out.
But yet he's capable of waiting until an entire season is ready.
Right, he will delay gratification, but he can't have that.
It's almost
it's a weird thing, and I don't get it. Like, I enjoy and always have enjoyed reading like single issue comics, right? I never wanted to wait until the collected graphic novel came out. I wanted to read the single issues, and then I would still buy the graphic novel. Reading books. I didn't wait until Tom Clancy died and all the Jack Ryan novels had come out when I was reading those. I read those starting in 8th grade, 7th grade, whatever it was, when I picked up Hunt for Red October and went, oh my God, this is amazing.
War porn. And
then got absolutely war porn. That's why I was done with it by the time I was in my mid-20s. But
the Hunt for Red October is...
Well, that's a great book. It's an incredibly tight book. Tom Clancy, after Hunt for Red October, gets progressively more and more into the paid-by-the-word category. Mm-hmm. He becomes much more...
He gets soupy.
Yeah, I mean, plots within subplots. And Stephen King has the same problem. If you look at... Like, I did not personally like the first Harry Potter novel, so I didn't read the rest of them. I know I'm a horrible human being.
Sacrilege.
Yeah, whatever. But I didn't like the first one, and therefore I didn't read the rest of them. I love that people love them, and I love that it gets people reading, so cool. Just didn't work for me. But you can look at those books and go, this is somebody who they stopped editing. I like a tight novel, and Hunt for Red October is a tight novel in the same way that Fahrenheit 451 is a tight novel. Jumping back to your reference from last episode.
I reread that years later.
Oh, I love that book.
And it had a completely different...
Oh, yeah, it's a whole Yeah, that book as a high school age kid does not have the same...
But I thought, Shawn, you dumb son of a bitch, you should have been listening to Merlin.
I had the same thing with Animal Farm. I hated Animal Farm as a kid when I read it in... I think we read it in 8th grade. And, Viv had us read Animal Farm. And I'm like, it's a book about mean pigs. Why the fuck am I reading this? And then became a fan of Orwell and went back and reread it and went, oh, this is fucking brilliant.
Oh,
this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And again, tight. I mean, it's 100 pages. Dostoevsky's Notes from Underground. Tight. Beautiful writing in 130 pages. Fight Club. Fight Club's a 140-page book. Like, I love tight stories. Like, don't give me don't give me fluff. Don't give me superfluous. Tell me what I need to know to follow this, but I don't need you to splatter words across the page to paint a picture for me. I mean, like Proust is a deep and impactful thinker if you can parse through Proust. Like, just volumes of bullshit on some levels, you know? And I think that's why I don't like Dickens. Like, I'm not a Dickens fan. No. And I think part of it is that I feel like there is way too much... There's too much painting going on, and not in a way that is useful. Because by the same token, I love Samuel Beckett. And Beckett as a... as really... I mean, he can be all over the place. I mean, his stuff can be almost... I mean, it can be very strict reading to get through it. But there isn't a wasted word. There's no word that doesn't have meaning. And I think that's what I like about sort of tight stories and tight work. I don't really know how that ties to anything that we were going to talk about.
I was just thinking to myself, like, which fork in the road did we take here?
Yeah, because well, we said Fahrenheit 451, and Brendan went, whee! Let's go off into weird literature world.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Look, bright shiny object.
New.
Embrace the ape.
Back to Lost.
Back to Lost. Right.
That's where it really got started. It wasn't even Fahrenheit 451.
Right. Back to Lost.
I think Lost was that it was actually the first binge watch that Marianne and I sat down and just hammered through. And I think it was season 1 and 2. Maybe she might have watched season 1, but it'd come out on iTunes or something, and we had a hold of all the episodes. So we sat down in her grandma's basement at the time, and we hammered through those first 2 seasons. And then I think it was season 3 when Michelle Rodriguez showed up. Who I can't.
How do you introduce a new character in that show?
Apparently, it was the tail section of the plane. So the cockpit went down.
Spoiler.
15 years old now.
Whatever.
Yeah. So then season 3 was.
I just don't want to get hate mail.
Was the tail section.
God damn it, Chris! I was waiting to see this. Shawn ruined it for me.
Fuck him and feed him hot dogs.
Right.
You're way behind. Yeah, I think that was that first binge thing where to kind of piggyback with the boy, you've got a 1 week span, right? You got to wait from Tuesday to Tuesday. And yet, sometimes these seasons don't come out on DVD or Blu-ray or on iTunes or Netflix or however they come out now.
DVD, you're old.
Right? There's an even longer stretch that you have to wait in order to binge it. So it's not that they're incapable of waiting. Maybe they're just incapable of doing.
Yeah,
or putting it on pause. Maybe it's a pause thing.
Maybe it's that, and the flip side of that. And I'm just sort of thinking about this now. I was having a conversation with somebody about the whole. We've talked about this before, probably even on here. But the whole idea that we human beings are incapable of multitasking, and that the idea of multitasking is a screaming pile of bullshit. What you're doing is task switching, and that really you're a hummingbird. You're just flitting from thing to thing to thing.
Which is why I stopped writing.
And but I think maybe part of it is that they are very, these millennials,
I love
it. Like your wife, are we'll see how far she listens into these. Is
I'm gonna make her stop listening at 9 minutes.
All right. Hey, if I need a Word document converted to a PDF, she's who I'm going to. But yeah, I mean, I think there is also something to the idea that people are figuring out that batching things is an efficient and effective way to go. I don't know if, I don't know how much of it's just I'm old and I feel like you should be able to watch something and come back to it the following week, but I'm at the point now where I don't watch anything, so I'm also a bad example of this.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
I like that idea of batching, though, that they can, I mean, if you really
it's
think
efficient, it's effective.
If you think about the time frame behind it, they're capable of waiting longer than a week.
Right.
Maybe that's just what they like to do.
Yeah. Yeah, the delayed gratification piece of it is interesting.
I'm referring to them as some other sort of entity, and they. Now we've really become generational.
Well, we all knew.
Or speaking in generational terms.
You and I and all of them knew that it was only a matter of time before this turned into Statler and Waldorf at the fucking Muppets.
Which one am I?
Yes.
Statler?
Yes. Any given day.
It doesn't matter.
Any given day. Yeah.
God, speaking of that and the Carol Burnett show. That's what I watched when I was a kid. That's how my mom formed me.
Yeah.
Turn on the Muppets or Sesame Street, and then turn on Carol Burnett show and watch Harvey Korman and Tim Conway just go absolute bananas.
And watch Harvey Korman attempt to not break in the worst way ever.
Every single
Completely
time.
Completely incapable.
Conway broke him.
Yeah.
At every turn. It's great stuff.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I think the kids at home are wondering where the hell we're going with this. I think I'm wondering where we're going with this. But it's all right. We're just going.
Well, maybe.
Well, what? Yeah, what? Welcome to Ape Brain.
Maybe it comes back to... So we left episode 0 with baggage.
Yeah.
Since we're bringing up high school and childhood and shit that doesn't exist anymore, like Statler on the Earth.
I just had to self-edit in my brain, but keep going.
Yep. Baggage as far... in terms of not only training in the gym, but life.
Mm.
Carrying it with you, picking it up, setting it down. Set it down when you don't need it. Pick it back up. And maybe we should talk about baggage and what that means. But if we're going to use an athlete that we're currently training in the gym, she was told, whether explicitly or not, that she couldn't do something.
Mm-hmm.
And probably at a very early age. Fast forward 30 years, and now it's become what she really holds on to when she's doing things. And she hasn't quite figured out how to, it's your baggage. You're going to have it forever.
Right.
No amount of therapy, nothing is going to completely, you never drop it and walk away.
Yeah, sure.
You're going to have it with you, right? But we've talked about how you can set it down inside of a situation. All right, I've got to do this lift. I am going to put down my baggage of self-loathing, whatever it is. Set it down in the moment and get down to the brass tacks of performing the lift.
Mm-hmm.
Do the task.
Yeah, just be present in the moment. Do what needs to be done.
Rack the barbell. Put the barbell down. Pick your baggage back up.
Yeah. Well, and something that you and I have talked about that's important, for us as coaches or, working with kids, working with other adults, whatever it may be, is the idea of first you have to get them to recognize that they're carrying baggage. You can't just say, put the bag down, right? You got to start with, oh, hey, you're carrying this bag. And you need to get them to recognize that they're carrying this bag.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's okay that they have that bag. There's nothing wrong with having that bag. They're not faulty for having that bag. In that, but whoever put stuff in that bag, we all have a bag, right? And people put stuff in that bag. And parents, teachers, co-workers, former romantic partners, whatever. People throw stuff in your bag. And what's important to remember is that most of those people, hopefully, meant well by the things they put in our bag. Or at minimum, weren't aware of the things they were putting in our bag. It's real easy for me, and I think for other people, to assume that the stuff that people put in our bag that is weighting us down was put there with some sort of intention.
Yeah, I was thinking...
And often that intention is malevolent or malicious.
Yep.
It wasn't. They were doing the best they could. They thought they were giving you a healthy sandwich. They didn't know what they were putting in there.
Yep.
They didn't know how it would affect you. And that doesn't mean that it didn't
affect you.
That it hasn't had its impact and that it may not have slowed you down. But we can be both forgiving of them for the baggage, what they put in our bag, but also I think there's something liberating in giving those people the right to have been wrong.
I have said this to my dad on several occasions. Good old Terry. I learned just as much what not to do as what I did to do.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. And I remember telling him one time, and I don't know that the question ever came up explicitly, but I remember telling him one time, I said, Dad, I didn't end up on Jerry Springer. Maybe I could have. Maybe I should have.
Well, yeah, I mean, you didn't make it through the audition, but yeah, sure.
But at the end of the day, you did all right.
Right.
Did the best that you could.
Right.
Things weren't malicious, necessarily.
Right.
They weren't,
maybe you could have been more intentional here or there.
You know.
And that's sort of, I think, what we're about with this project as much as anything else is like, it's not malicious. You can be a little more intentional.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as parents, I think that that's one of the things that we have tried to do is just be a little more intentional. We try to think a little further down the road.
Say what you mean what you say.
Well, that, but also don't just react as the ape in pants. Yes, you're an ape in pants.
Well,
and you're going to have those reactions. You're going to just be pissed, and you're going to vent, and you're going to freak out. And then there is the, wait a minute, I don't want to just react. I want to act with intention. Mm-hmm. And I want to know that my kid is going to do things that's going to frustrate me. Not because they're anything other than another human being in this world with their own agency and their own intentionality, and that's not always going to jive with what's in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be days that the kid wants to pull all the pots out of the kitchen cabinet and bang on them because they're exploring. And that's driving me up a wall because I got other shit that I want to do. And sometimes I need to go, you know what? It's not about me. Let him pull it out of the cabinet.
Well, I was having a moment here recently, moments, with Maddie. And I got to rewind and give a little, I got to give some backstory to this. So, Marianne's mom and dad, their house, they have a back porch. Go through one door out of the back of the kitchen, make a little bit of a left turn, and you're on the back porch.
Mm-hmm.
That back porch has no less than 47 years of shit on it. And it's kind of become, now the joke in the house is, and Marianne actually said this to her mom, you and Dad need to take care of this thing because I'm not going to deal with it when you're dead.
Right.
But it is a mountain of clutter and shit, and it's like a mini Hoarders episode. Not quite a full hour, but you might be able to get like a trailer out of it, and it's a snippet. And the joke for us has become in our house that Maddie is, in a nutshell, Roberta's back porch, where she stores all her shit and all her and then Maddie has got this thing where she has become lazy and she just drops stuff. And in my brain, I could get livid thinking about it, and I'm working myself that way right now. And I called her out the other day, and I said, Madeline, I said, you have become this lazy child who just decides that when I tell you to put something away, you drop it. Like, that's where your shoes go, or that's where your dirty clothes go, or that's where your volleyball knee pads go. Put your stuff where it belongs. And I was getting frustrated with her. And I kept saying lazy. And then in the last 3 days, she made dinner one night when I wanted to be lazy. I was thinking about, all right, where would we go to get something to eat? Mama went to get her hair done. Maddie said, no, I'm going to make green beans and corn, and then I want to do shrimp and sausage. And she made us dinner. She set the table. She set napkins out. She made little place cards that said, from Chef Maddie, or brought to you by Maddie Coffee.
That's awesome.
So clearly she's not lazy.
Right.
She then goes upstairs, lays out her clothes, socks, pants. Underneath the pants are underwear, shirt, and right at the very top of the shirt, where her eyeballs would be, are her glasses. And she's got it all laid out on the bed.
You explained to her that the underwear was in the wrong position, right?
Well, it's underneath the pants. It wasn't inside, but
close enough. But it should have been on top, so for the efficiency of dressing.
I think she was thinking the underwear underneath are
covered
up.
Yeah, no, I appreciate where she was at. She was just wrong. But go on.
Yeah. You're wrong. Speaking of baggage, but she had, and I look real quick.
It's not lazy. It's about what you care about.
And
what you see value in, what you see is important.
I check myself real quick, and I look at her, and I said, Madeline, I said, I'm just proud of you. Can I just tell you that I'm proud of you? All the time before she goes into volleyball practice the other day, and she looks back at me, and I said, hey, just so you know, I'm already proud of you. Like, I have to check myself out of that, and maybe it's baggage.
How does she respond to that?
I'm proud of you already?
Yeah. Like, how does she handle that? Because I'm curious.
I don't know.
Because I got a story, but I want to hear how she responds to that before I offer it.
I don't really know, because especially so when it comes to sports.
Does she smile? Does she nod? Does she roll her eyes? Does she storm away?
She's probably got a very neutral to smiling, nodding of the, cool, thanks.
There's
Dad.
an acceptance.
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
So with the boy, for years and years and years, I would offer sort of the unsolicited positive commentary. And I'd get glowered at. And then one day we were driving back from down by his mom's. And I said, okay. I offered some sort of positive feedback that had been divorced from any sort of experience in the moment.
11 a.m.
Thank you. And I got glowered at.
Have that removed.
And I'm like, oh, I don't care. I'm like, okay. Obviously, me saying that bothered you. Why? What? And his thing was, if you're offering me praise outside of, and I am paraquoting, but I am barely paraquoting a 10-year-old. If you're offering,
he was 10.
He was 10. If you're offering me praise outside of an actual action, it doesn't seem genuine. If you're just praising me to praise me, I don't think it's genuine. And I'm like, okay, fair. I said, you need to understand something. And I put it that way. I said, you need to understand that that's not my intention. That my experience of, I think you might sneeze.
Yeah, well.
Or fart. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
No, it's going to be a sneeze. I was actually going to go for a pause, too.
But
there's a good spot for that.
I said, my thing is, as your father, I offer these things when they pop into my head. They are genuine. But thank you for sharing with me how that makes you feel. Thank you for sharing that's not getting... that's not a positive experience for you, right?
Right.
I don't want to load your backpack up with something that you don't want to carry, or that I don't want you to carry. Not just that you don't want to carry, but I don't want you to carry. I don't want you to carry the stone of, I don't know if my dad's compliments were genuine. Thank you for sharing with me that doesn't work for you, because I can't make it better if you don't tell me that this is working or not working. Yeah. And I had made a commitment to him at one point that, we're just going to have these conversations. You need to give me feedback about what I'm doing as a parent, because I'm fallible.
Yep.
I'm human. I'm going to try to do something. It's going to fail. You need to tell me if it's not working for you.
Hit me a pause.
All right. We are going to take a break here, folks.
Be back.
We'll be back in a moment. All right, so we're back from that brief but unscheduled break. We need to get better at scheduling those breaks, I think.
Yeah.
I think we need to figure that out.
We're figuring
part
it
of
all
season
out.
2, we need to figure out.
How old are we? Still figuring it out?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
6.
No, I'll be 45 in March. I'm not 46 yet. I know, right?
Yeah, act like.
Is that like a
7? But
wow, you gave me 2 years. I appreciate that. It's not like you took 2 away. We got down a road when I made the comment to Maddie that I'm already proud of you.
Yeah, and talking about the boy and sort of that.
So
that unsolicited, not tied to an event praise.
Right. And I really link it back to competition.
Okay.
I guess that's the thing that tripped my trigger, if you will, in my brain, where I have to write that note down. I have to think about. I think very early on, if you're paying attention at home, you know what kind of child you have.
Yeah.
You know. You kind of you just know what you have. When Maddie starts something, it's competition time.
Yeah.
Whether with herself or with others, she's ready to go. My thing is as much as I don't want to ever take that away from her, I want to steer her towards a better experience. Or maybe better's not the word, but when she first started soccer, I had just a couple of rules for her. And my 2 rules were have fun, which is more of a guideline. But the second one really is a rule in be a good teammate.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's kind of evolved from there to I'm already proud of you. She never really disappoints. She is a good teammate.
Yeah.
Somebody else scores a goal, she's happy. She cheers. She doesn't sulk because she didn't kick the goal in. She had a very different experience this year 2 of soccer than from year 1. Year 1, for lack of a better phrase, she was kind of the badass of the team. Year 2, I'm just happy to be here. I got a uniform. It's cool. I got pink cleats, or bright yellow. I think she had.
Baseball been very, very good to me.
Yeah, she didn't care either way.
Yeah,
and I, as much as you don't want to take out that competitive gene or that drive, I also didn't want her to have a negative experience with it.
Yeah.
I think some of that just comes for me. Thinking back to when I was a kid, I sucked at losing. I didn't know how to win, and I sucked at losing.
Yep.
And I was uber competitive. I had to win. Trivial Pursuit, Monopoly, fuck you, I'm winning. Oh, I don't know the questions for literature? Guess what? I'm going to read 86 fucking books, and next Christmas, when I play my girl cousins who are 4, 5, and 8 years older than me, fuck you, I'm going to win. But I didn't
What's
know.
the average gestational period for the African elephant?
256 days.
24 months.
Whatever.
I got that question 3 games of Trivial Pursuit in a row. And the first time I got it, I'm like, I have no idea. The second time I got it, I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't remember this. Third time, I knew it.
It's a charm.
Yep. Got that. That's stuck forever.
And I don't know where this competition thing comes from. My dad, my dad wasn't
Ape in pants.
Well, I guess I'm thinking more along the lines of parental lineage. My dad wasn't an athlete, didn't play organized sports.
Okay.
He said he was on a Pee Wee championship winning team, but I see him picking his nose in right field. And again, happy to be here. I got a uniform. I don't think my mom did anything. My dad likes to tease that my mom's high school career was sniffing glue for time. I love her dearly. I may or may not have played with mono glue myself when I was a kid. But
would you say they're competitive in other ways?
You know what? My mom,
do they
maybe.
play games and get competitive with games? Is there
They play Yahtzee.
I mean, like, I come from a competitive family. Trivial Pursuit in my family is a blood sport. Like,
now Risk, my dad loves Risk.
Okay.
Loves it.
Yeah.
I could probably buy him. Great idea for Christmas. I could probably buy him a game of Risk, and he and I could probably have a game while FaceTiming.
Does your
distance, like across 100 miles apart?
Do your folks have an iPad or anything like that?
They got a computer, the iMac.
Get him an iPad for Christmas. There is an online Risk app. Oh, you will be humbled very quickly if you play against other people.
Oh, they've been playing for 40 years.
Oh my God! No. These are millennials. They know how to play games. That's who you're losing to. You're not playing to people that actually rolled dice. But
those little white and black dotted ivory looking things.
right.
Those are called dice.
Some of them are red. And the plural is die, which is what you want to do when you're playing with them.
Showing our age.
But no, the Risk app is a lot of fun, and you can play with friends. So you could put it on there, and he could play
with the old man.
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah,
totally worth your time. Anyway, sidetrack. This episode not brought to you by Hasbro, just fans.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, Hasbro. If you wanted to send me something, you could.
My mom, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure.
All right. I'm just curious because my family's horribly competitive. Yeah. I mean, aggressively competitive. And I got it. The boy is, I think, I want to say he's less competitive than I am, but he's not. He's competitive differently.
That's Marianne. There are
removed.
Had that removed. There are several times where
just in my brain watch John Larroquette trip over a curb. Yeah.
There are several times
a Stripes
where
reference, Jim.
It's not unwarranted, but I have to kind of turn my head and I go, "Oh, you don't know Marianne, do you? She's the competitive one. Oh, she's the ruthless one. She will fucking cut you. You name it, as low as it can get, she'd cut you for it. She's 10 times worse than I am.
That is my wife to a T. Give that woman a game of Bop It and watch what happens. She will make children cry. She will insist that she does not, but in her soul, she knows.
Now,
that's why and she knows this is true. That's why she doesn't like Trivial Pursuit, because her brain does not store utterly useless crap in the way mine does.
But is she good at catchphrase?
She's amazing
Shit like
at catchphrase. She's great at apples to apples. She's great.
She's blonde. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Right.
Shut up, Jen.
Right. I mean, like, don't give that woman a Scrabble game. You know?
Toast.
Oh, God. Well, one, she can spell, which is completely unfair. Like, I may know words, but I don't know how to
It's
spell
not a
them.
real sign of intelligence.
I have
just for you.
I have a great vocabulary, but nobody ever taught me phonics, so I don't know how to sound things out.
I can't spell shite.
Right. It has an E in it, right? Oh, so you get the long I.
So I don't know where. Well, I don't know where I get it from necessarily, but I know that Maddie's.
Oh, I know where Maddie gets it from. I've seen the two of you.
She's got right, and I admit freely, I am competitive.
You are.
I like.
I think you're reasonably healthy in it.
I like to beat myself. I've come to the point where I've figured out how to make it healthy.
Okay.
I've been able to.
I didn't know you till you were old.
I've learned how to lose. I've taught myself how to get through. There's no.
That is important, though. You have to learn how to lose.
Well, that's what I think. That's where my "I'm already proud of you" statement comes from.
Sure.
No matter what she does, she can fuck it all the way up. Just shy of telling another teammate to fuck off. She could fuck it all the way up, and I'm still proud of her.
Jane, you're an ignorant slut.
Yep. Jane, you ignorant slut. There's an echo in here. But I think that's where it comes from. Where
Shawn's brain works on about a 40-second delay from Chris's.
4 T?
I said 40.
40?
He just caught that.
Yeah. And all
Well
I could
played.
picture-
I wish
all-
that was intentional on your
all
part.
all I could picture in my head was the pan from Jane to Dan Aykroyd. And right on cue, he just goes right into it.
That was Chevy Chase, wasn't it?
No, it was Dan Aykroyd. Jane, you ignorant slut.
Are you sure?
We could go to the tape.
We might have to go to the tape on this one.
I got called out too earlier this year. Mark. Merry New Year! That is from Trading Places.
Oh, yeah.
On the train. It's not a Coming to America thing.
No, that's Trading Places.
I let it go because I'm not competitive any longer.
That's Trading Places for sure.
But I immediately went to Google and I'm like, don't do it, Shawn. Don't
Dan
do it.
Aykroyd was not on Saturday Night Live.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
That's Chevy Chase at the desk on Weekend Update.
Let's check it out. I swear to God, I got that narrow fucking head of Dan Aykroyd in my brain. Jane, you ignorant slut. The best part is...
What's going to be awesome is when we're both wrong.
Yeah,
Pretty sure we're not.
it's
I'm sure I'm right.
Jane, you
but
ignorant SNL skit. Oh, they won't even say slut.
Tell me I'm right.
I'm station manager Dan Aykroyd.
God damn it!
Angeles actor Lee Marvin and his former live-in companion
Son of a bitch!
in court to settle her claim that he owes her half his income from the 6 years they lived together. That is the subject of tonight's point counterpoint. Jane will take the pro-Michelle Marvin point, while I take the...
Lee Marvin. They're debating Lee Marvin.
Dan, times change, and so does the nature of relationships. People are reluctant to get married these days, and
I am so angry right now. You have no idea. You have no idea.
Relationship may well give up all her own personal pursuits, as Michelle Marvin claims she did, to
I
give
just
her
think
full
we should
support to her
go ahead and
man's
finish this
career.
2-minute
And
skit.
Michelle Marvin is just
Yeah, we
asking
just got to
that the
talk
courts
over it enough
recognize
to
that
not be
reality.
demonetized.
Dan, there's an old
When we get to
saying,
the point when we
behind
can be
every
monetized.
successful
So we
man,
just
there's
have to
a
keep
woman.
talking over it so that the
Well, then we'll
software
pause
can't
it.
pick it up.
Giving, caring woman. But you wouldn't know about that, Dan, because there's no old saying about what's behind a miserable failure.
Probably the lost point of that entire skit.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Oh, I am so mad at you! I am so mad at you. Because I can't be mad at me for being wrong. Oh, that sucks.
Competition, folks.
Yeah,
Brings
no,
out the worst in all of us.
Oh my god, but I love the fact that I was wrong. That's awesome.
Good old Dan Aykroyd. He wasn't on Saturday Night Live. Are you sure?
Oh. And see,
Chris, you ignorant slut.
Yeah, absolutely. I love being humbled by shit like that when I am so utterly certain that I know this and I am so completely wrong.
Well, it makes, from the deadpan aspect, it makes sense that it's Chevy Chase. Because he can look you dead in the eye. What's that, Eddie?
and
drive you out in the middle of nowhere and leave you for dead?
Leave you for dead?
That's it. Done.
Right.
Oh.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Kiss my ass.
Kiss your ass. Kiss
Kiss
his
his
ass.
ass.
Happy
Happy
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Right. Great stuff.
We don't have
Terrible
music in the gym, but we do have Christmas Vacation.
Terrible human being, but hysterical in his
Especially on
delivery.
cocaine.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're all funny on cocaine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not an endorsement of cocaine by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
But Robin Williams coked up, funniest human being ever. Robin Williams coked up, Jonathan Winters not.
Same person.
Same human being. And you want to watch Pam Dauber be lost? Watch Mork and Mindy with those two on it. That is human being just desperately, like a kicking to stay alive, and she's good. Mm-hmm. That's not a commentary on her capacity.
What else was she in?
That is two human beings.
After Mork and Mindy, what did she go to?
My Sister Sam.
Yes.
With the young woman whose name escapes me, who was killed by a stalker, who was the sister. I can't remember her name right now, and I feel badly about that, but
Yeah.
it's referenced in Gavin DeBecker's book, Gift of Fear, which I highly recommend, bringing this back to a completely dour, dreary, awful point. That's what happens when I lose games. I crush people's souls.
Embrace the ape.
Yeah.
Loser. Loser.
Maybe that's the new opener.
Embrace the ape. We're
Even
probably
those
done for the day.
Even
aren't
those
we?
are chimp noises. I think we're going to record episode 2 and 3 and 4. I think we're just going to keep rolling. I don't know. What else you want to do? You got anything else for now?
No, I think we covered that baggage part.
So I'm gonna throw in a
Go for it.
I'm gonna throw in a Chris pedantic point here. I highly recommend everybody after this go and Google Peggy McIntosh, but I think it's spelled
McIntosh, yes.
Macintosh, and the invisible backpack. And she talks a lot about heuristics and biases and sort of the things we carry. And as we were talking about it and that idea of people don't always know what they're putting into your backpack, I like that idea. I like that notion of we all are carrying this backpack of stuff. And we put stuff in there, other people put stuff in there. What's important is starting to acknowledge that we have the backpack on, and then starting to reach in and pull stuff out and look at it and go, is this useful? You know, it's not really the whole Marie Kondo, does this bring me joy? If it doesn't bring me joy, I'm going to cast it aside. The whole KonMari method thing. But it is is this useful? Is this a tool? And if it's...
Can I use this to make me
If
better?
it's not a tool that I can use, can I get rid of it? And if not, can I put it somewhere in the backpack where it's not going to get in the way of the things that I need to retrieve more regularly? Because we are all going to have stuff in our backpack that we can't get rid of. And that's the whole idea. It is to critically look at that stuff and figure out, all right, do I use this? Is this useful? Does this make me better? Or is this just a thing that I'm going to carry forever? And that's okay. But maybe let's try and put that in a side pocket where I don't need it.
Mm-hmm. Or bury it deep down inside and never talk about it again.
That's healthy. I like that.
Yeah.
We should do that more.
Like a garbage compactor.
Right. Now I'm going through the whole trash compactor scene from Star Wars.
Great toy as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Got that before I got the Millennium Falcon.
Absolutely.
Thought I was hot shit.
The first Star Wars toy I got, because we were a one-income family, was the twin, the Bespin Cloud Speeder.
Oh.
Because we could afford that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
pretty sure Grandma Dennis probably got me the Millennium Falcon. I don't remember. Don't have really any horrible childhood memories tied to Christmas.
Oh no, I never wanted for anything at the holidays. I had the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. Oh, it's still at my parents' house.
I would
It
give
may
up.
come to the gym and go up on top of the office.
I would give up being right about Dan Aykroyd if I could have had that fucking aircraft.
Oh man, it was awesome. It was in my bedroom as a
fuck?
kid. It took up like half my bedroom.
That's it.
It
I'm
was
out. Apes and
phenomenal.
Pants.
Apes
Fuck
and
you. I'm
Pants,
leaving.
Episode 1, Season 2. We'll see y'all next time. Cheers.